What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norman Rad89 here, bringing you another video today. And for today's video, we're going to be going over a film that I recently added to my collection. I know a lot of people have already seen this film. It's been out for a while, but today we're going to talk about The Brilliance of Ty West's X. This is a fabulous, amazing film for horror, and I can't wait to talk about this film, so make sure you stay tuned to this video. And of course, we're going to be talking spoilers today. This film has been out, so if you haven't seen it, go frickin' buy it. I'm telling you right now, do yourself a favor and go buy it. It's worth adding to your collection. Now let's get into this video. Roll it. So Ty West's X is the latest addition to A24 and their horror genre, because A24 is known for doing many and like stretching their films over across many genres. They have like intense dramas, they got horror, they got comedy, they got a lot of aspects that they incorporate into the films that they produce, and Ty West always brings it for sure. And one thing I can tell you for sure is, like, after seeing this and one of his other films that I really do love that takes place, I believe, in the 70s as well, is The House of the Devil. He's just the king of like period piece filming, and I love that aspect of it, because when I watch new films now, like, don't get me wrong, there are new films that look great, I love, and I have such an amazing time with, but sometimes films now, they can look too crisp, a little too new, a little too sleek, and I like that raw kind of old school nature to films from back in the day. So as you know, Ty West's X is one of these films that just, it really does take the horror genre and take it to a new level, and I love that about it. I wouldn't call it like elevated horror. This is just horror when you have money behind you and you have a creator that actually cares about what he's doing. That's what happens, and what happens is you get a freaking fabulous slasher film that is taken care of, has great homages to other films, and is intellectual and has a lot to say about aging, being young and being old, and having regret for things that you didn't do when you're younger, and being young and understanding that you're young and your whole life is ahead of you, and this is the time to really do stuff, you know what I mean? All those aspects and themes come into play with this film, and that's what's amazing about it, is it's down deep a film. There's a certain line in this film that really does hit the center of this movie, is that you can make a good dirty movie, like and that's really like a line that really just incorporates and represents this film to a whole, is you can make a horror film that really has stuff to say about it. And there's been other horror films before this film that has stuff to say. I'm not saying this is the very first one, but this is one that's going to get a lot of recognition and a lot of praise, because it's mainstream, more mainstream than a lot of other horror films. And this film stars Maya Goth, Jenna Ortega, and Michael Henderson, and I think a lot of the cast, everybody, they do a fabulous job, especially Maya Goth when she has to play two different characters, and that's a great representation. And I think by Ty West, that was a great choice to cast the same actor to play Maxine and to play Pearl. It very much, is a representation of what he's trying to tell you with this film, is that, age and the battle of good and evil, and aging and young, youth and elderly, how that plays into corporation of how they view each other, you know what I mean? Because they're kind of both afraid of each other, you know what I mean? Maxine is afraid of being like Pearl and aging that way, because she wants to be famous. She doesn't want to accept a life that she doesn't deserve, which is a great quote from the film. And that when she sees Pearl, it's like that effect of like, I don't want to be that, I don't deserve that, I deserve a lot more. And when Pearl sees Maxine, it's much more of like, oh, look at how beautiful she is, and look at how young she is, and she has no idea in her head what's ahead of her, kind of thing. That plays into a factor heavy in this movie. But add to that, being a horror fan, you have to include TNA, and you have to include gore, and this film has plenty of it. And I know this is a slow burn film. This is a film that takes its time. You really have to commit, but when you get to that third act, does the gore pay off? For sure. It's easily probably one of the goriest A24 films I've seen, and it's more like Ty West building that ambiance, building that tension. It's not gore for the sake of just gratuitous gore, which I can enjoy that. I have tons of horror films that I like that are basically just grotesque for the reason of being that way. But Ty West does a really good job of laying down an ambiance and a style and a feel to this film. And all the way to the third act, it totally pays off, like, for real. This is one of the greatest, like, slasher horror films that I've seen in a long time that actually has stuff to say about it, has a message, and it's amazing. And like I said, it's one of those films that I'm proud that it's going to get a lot of mainstream attention. Another amazing thing about this film, like I said, we're just talking praise and all this stuff about this movie, is the cinematography. The shot choices, I think, are fabulous, and the grain and certain choices. Like, there's a lot of good 70s style, 80s style cinematography in this film. Especially one of my favorite shots is when Maya Goth's character Maxine is walking onto the dock by the lake that's by the farm, and the camera kind of slowly pans out as every step she takes, the camera's panning out, kind of showing you the intensity and the vastness of this lake. Like, I just like that. That was really cool. And that's when she takes her dip and we see the alligator, or was it the crocodile, kind of chasing her. Like, I was like, damn, like, for real. There's a lot of great shot choices in this movie that just make it a style. Like I said, that's one thing for me, is my main thing with films is one of my things that I champion, besides practical effects, which this film has a lot of practical effects. Number two is probably your ambiance. And to build that, you need good music, you need a good score, like all that kind of stuff, but you also need good shot choices and good lighting and all this stuff. And really, the farm, the area, all that was a perfect choice for this film, because it calls back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre and even Friday the 13th with the dock and the lake. There's a lot of stuff incorporated in this film, and you would think it wouldn't work, and you would think people would just be like, it's another sleazy slasher. There's hundreds out there, I've seen a ton, and this will get buried under the bunch, but this film will not get buried under the bunch. This is truly a spectacle in cinema, and if you haven't seen Ty West X, you need to go run out and watch it for real. Like, I don't even care. I mean, you could on demand this or video rent this or whatever you want to do, but I totally suggest buying this because it is a great addition to anyone's collection. This is a film that when you watch it, you're going to see how when somebody really, like I said, cares about their horror film, when somebody has the money and the production company backing them, what kind of film they can create. And this was truly a special film, and I can't wait for real for Pearl, like the prequel film. I think Ty West was really genius in the fact that he filmed this and then filmed Pearl back to back, because he knew, he's like, this movie's going to be something, and he wanted to make his film more three-dimensional. And like I said, his antagonist character, we're going to learn more about her backstory, and everybody in the horror community is eager to find out what Pearl has in her backstory. Thanks for sticking around with me all for this video going over X, this fabulous film, and the brilliance and greatness of Ty West. I can't wait to see what else he has to offer. And remember, like and subscribe so you get more videos like this. And have a safe and happy day, everyone. Peace out.